Hello everyone, this video is about week 13 of surgery recovery after a midfoot fusion and bone graft on my right foot. I have been tracking my recovery from surgery for a Lisfranc dislocation. Hopefully these videos are helpful for people who are also recovering from foot surgery or for people who are interested in learning what it's like to recover from major surgery. During week 13, I was continuing to work on strengthening my right foot, ankle, and leg. I still had my walking boot on both inside and outside of the house because I still only had partial fusion of the bones. I was continuing on walking without the crutches inside of the house. I still needed the crutches outside of the house for walking on concrete, but walking outside was starting to get easier. Standing still for long periods of time was still difficult because my foot would get very puffy and painful. My physical therapist was off for most of the week, so I only had one session, but I was able to go to the gym and work on exercises both at the gym and at home, and also increase walking. Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024, day 84 after my surgery. My foot was feeling less sore and less painful that morning compared to the last few days, probably because I had been more cautious the day before and had used my knee scooter a bit the evening before to give my foot a break from all the walking I had been doing. I walked around the house in the afternoon without the crutches and had to sit down after about 15 minutes to elevate and ice my foot because I was getting stabbing and sharp pains through my foot. My physical therapist and surgeon had both recommended that when I had moderate to intense stabbing or sharp pains, that was a sign to take a break from whatever I was doing. Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024, day 85 after my surgery. I took a short 8 to 10 minute walk outside with my crutches, and it felt like my foot was doing a lot better with walking on concrete. I was still getting an uncomfortable pressure and could feel the vibrations in the bones in my lower leg every time I stepped down on the sidewalk, but it wasn't as painful as before when I was walking outside that day. Sydney came over that evening and we worked on her Halloween costume together. I took a lot of sitting breaks and iced my foot because I was still not able to stand on it for extended periods of time without my foot getting very puffy and very painful, but it was fun having her come over. I did hurt quite a bit at times because a couple of times I was standing up for 3 to 5 minutes at a time, and so I had to be very mindful of my activity as the evening wore on to make sure that I was being careful of my foot. It was pretty painful towards the end of the night, so I had to ice it after she left, and I learned an important lesson about how much standing my foot is able to tolerate and just to be mindful as I'm doing activities to not overdo it. Thursday, October 24th, 2024, day 86 after my surgery. My big toe was still pretty stiff. I would need to initially help it start moving and bending by just using my hand to bend it. I was getting some stabbing pains through the left side of my foot, but at this point of my recovery, the stabbing and shooting pains were starting to happen less frequently than before. I went with my husband Matt for a doctor's appointment that he had, and then we went to a party store near our house where they already had Christmas things up, even though it wasn't even Halloween yet. I do love Christmas though, so we did check out the Christmas things, and we stopped by a couple other places where I was able to get some walking in. Walking outside was getting easier, although I did still need the crutches to help with the impact against the concrete. Saturday, October 26, 2024, day 88 after my surgery. I took a walk on my own outside for about 10 minutes with one crutch. My foot and lower leg hurt a bit on the walk back to the house because I had to walk up a bit of a hill, but the walk down and back up my street was starting to get easier. I did not want to stop walking because it felt so nice to be out and the weather was great, but I had a feeling that if I didn't go back inside to give my foot a break, that it was going to take a long time to recover from the pain and soreness. Matt and I went to a friend's Halloween party, and we made a stop on the way in our costumes to pick up some party supplies. My foot handled walking up the stairs to her house as well as the stairs in her house very well. I was able to stay standing for slightly longer periods of times than I previously had been able to do. I did have to remain seated with my foot elevated for a good bit of the party, but I was happy to be out, and I met a fellow user of the walking boot to compare experiences with. Sunday, October 27th, 2024, day 89 after the surgery. Matt and I went to the gym. It felt great to be going a little more regularly, and although my foot did get very sore, it wasn't too painful. My sister Sophie also came over to continue watching Designated Survivor with us. Watching the show with her has become a very fun part of my surgery recovery, and I always look forward to her coming over. Monday, October 28th, 2024, day 90 after the surgery. I had physical therapy to continue working on strengthening exercises, and my mom drove me since I was still not able to drive, having the walking boot on my foot. I had not had physical therapy that week because of my physical therapist being off most of the week, and it felt great getting back into the swing of things with physical therapy.